podcast.
Here we go. Hello, hello.
Yo, yo.
Around the block and around the world. This is where we discuss, debate, and deliberate all things diabetes. Representing type 2, my name is Dobie Maxwell. Representing type 1 proudly. She's vivacious, effervescent, always in the know. Sami Parker. We'll get to Sami in just a second. But first, today's episode of Just My Type brought to you by the Diabetes app. Sami, what's that?
A free social media app that brings together type 1 and type 2 diabetics and has community resources. And as Dobie says, you can find Dobie and me on the Diabetes app.
Sami, just when you thought it was safe to have diabetes in this wild world, we have our own jargon, and we did it once, and it wasn't enough. We have some more today. If you have diabetes, you are in the club, and we're glad you're here.
Today is a very exciting day, like you said, because this is one of my favorite episodes that we do. I love doing the diabetes jargon because the slang, diabetes slang, it's so relevant and it's so necessary. So I'm excited. And I like when you have to guess what they mean.
Well, I like it too. It's almost like any community has their own jargon. The sports community, there are sports words. The rap community, they have, and it permeated into pop culture. Sports and rap, those are just two examples. But hopefully with as many diabetics as there are in the world, that we can do it too from our show. Because you got a good one. You crank them out. I got to hand it to you. I'm just going to sit back and listen because you know what you're doing. You should be a marketer for Diabetes Inc.
I'm going to have my own. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to publish my own diabetes dictionary.
Ooh,
that's so smart.
That's a good one.
That's so smart. Wow. Okay. Creativity. Here we go.
Well, there was a Webster. Webster did the regular dictionary. The Parker. Get the Parker out. Your name could be the Diabetes Dictionary. Okay. What do we got today?
Get the Di Parker. All right. So first one that you got to guess. What is DKA?
You're talking to me? I'm the only one.
Nope, I'm talking to the other Dobie. Just kidding.
DKA. That sounds like a rapper right there, but it's not. Diabetic.
Double D.
Double D in the his house. No, D's got to be diabetes. K, I don't know, kinetic aptitude.
Diabetes ketoacidosis.
That would have been my second guess, Sami, and I struck out. Please explain.
So diabetes ketoacidosis is when your blood sugar is extremely, extremely, extremely high. And it's very dangerous. And a lot of times you need to go to the hospital because your blood sugar is so high that everything, you either can be shaking, trembling, you're sweating, you're nauseous, you're vomiting. It's just your blood sugar is so high that your body's freaking out, almost like shutting down.
So a coma could be in your immediate future.
Well, that's diabetic shock. Mm-hmm. I guess you could,
Close.
You could go into, no, you could go into a coma from DKA. Diabetic shock is like the same thing, except it's when you have a chronic low blood sugar, which means you're basically like, it'd be like you're talking to me right now and I'm just like not alive.
Yeah, we don't want that. You get a pulse. Does she have a pulse? Call an ambulance.
Yeah.
DKA.
Yes. So that's DKA. That's a more serious one. But now we got to get into fun ones, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've listened to the Salty Sugars episode, people, then you already are ahead of the rest of everybody. But Dobie, how about you define salty sugars?
Well, you know what? It was. We talked about it on the episode, so go back and listen to it. But from memory, it is when you're having a bad day because of your sugars are off kilter. It has a ripple effect in your life. I don't know how to put that in a succinct, understandable.
High blood sugars due to emotional trauma.
Mm-hmm. And in this day and age, emotional trauma has got to be at an all-time high.
Oh.
So salty sugars has to be at an all-time high, following bad news everywhere, intense. Oh, it's crazy.
And salty sugars can be anything. Like sometimes I'm just having a salty sugar because I'm pissed off at the world. I don't know why I'm pissed off at the world sometimes, but I am.
Well, the world, it's very pissable, awful.
It is very pissable lately.
There's so many things that are bad. It's like, and I hate to think that way. So yes, I'm all for Tony Robbins and doing your jumping jacks and smile and eat breakfast every day. But when it goes bad, there's sometimes it's like, well, I need to.
No, it's accurate. That's accurate.
Yeah, it's the real world. We live in the real world.
It is. It is. Okay. Ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Unicorn.
Unicorn.
I'm going to make you guess this one because I just learned this one like 4 days ago.
I do know this. I never play leapfrog with a unicorn.
Why is that?
Well, if you go short, it's going to poke you in your moneymaker. A unicorn is an animal that would probably taste good on the grill. I don't know what a unicorn is.
Okay, ready? So a unicorn. I think this is amazing because someone was like, oh my gosh, an absolute unicorn on Instagram. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? So it basically means a perfect blood sugar of 100.
Wow. Okay.
So somebody's like, I'm at a unicorn, or I woke up unicorn. Woke up with a unicorn. And you're like, what? You woke up with a unicorn? And then they're like, no, my blood sugars were 100. And you're like, oh, that
Do you
makes sense.
identify as a unicorn? What are the pronouns?
I don't know what the pronouns are. I'm thinking it's uni or corn.
Yeah, I never knew that. I learned something. I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah, it's a good one though. Like unicorn. I'm gonna just start yelling it. Unicorn. People are gonna have to guess it.
Make a noise like a unicorn. I
They're
have
gonna be
no
like,
idea.
Samantha, what does that mean?
That's good. Let me write down in my diabetes diary. Is that a term we can make?
Double D.
Double
Diabetes
D.
diary.
That's a
That's what
good
we're gonna
one.
call it. New diabetes slang term, everybody, from
And
Dobie.
make notes. There's nothing wrong with that because I think something to exchange with other diabetics. Because I meet people all the time. They'll drop a phrase that I'd never heard before. It's like, what is that? Just
Or
slang.
what if we call it triple D, like Dobie's diabetic diary?
Don't blame it on me. You're coming along with me.
Triple D, baby.
Triple D. So shoe width. Okay, go ahead.
Shoe width. I got another one.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, this one's self-explanatory. Diabadass.
Diabadass. That's what we are. You and me. Diabadass is wearing our leather jackets with our colors on the back. Going out there, it's like, look, you regular sugar person, don't mess with me.
Exactly.
Don't mess with Sami. She's having a bet. She is way high.
Yes, diabadass. But that one you can go listen how to be a diabadass on our episode.
Yeah, go listen to that. But I do think a diabadass is a good thing because it's a self-esteem builder. It's like, look, you know what? You have your problems. I have mine. I respect you. You respect me. I'm a diabadass, and I'm not taking shiz from the world, especially you.
Amen. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So this one I just, I had thought about this one for a while, and I have not said this one, so I might get in trouble for saying this one, but
Elizabeth will beep it.
yeah, I know. So it's diabaddie, okay? And Dobie can't say it, unfortunately, Dobie, because it might come out the wrong way. But if
Diabaddie?
all my girlies can say they're a diabaddie, okay? And that means there's this funny term, and it's like, oh, she's a baddie. It's like a joke. But at Pepperdine, all my friends would joke about, they would call each other like a bat, like, oh, that's a baddie. Like meaning like, ooh, she did good, or oh, she went off in a good way. So I liked the term a diabaddie.
Okay, every generation has their own slang. I grew up in the 70s. Maybe we could do Elizabeth. It's so funny because Zach, our intern, and Elizabeth, and you guys, and you're all making your generation proud. But I could look back some of the stupid things that I did in my generation. I'm thinking, you know what? I don't know which one is weirder, but it's just different. It's different how people come together in a generation, and certain things stick, certain things don't. So diabetic, I won't say
Well,
that.
I can't even believe that I said diabetic. I can't even believe it came in my head because I used to crap on everybody who said baddie, and then I was like, oh, but it goes so well, diabaddie. But it's okay. It's fine. So, okay, getting back to our actual list. Here we go. Next one. Ready? CGM.
CGM, computer generated madness.
No.
Okay.
Continuous glucose monitor.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I was just trying to make the listener feel superior as they're walking. It's like, I know what that one is.
I know what that one is. A CGM. That's what I have on my arm.
And that's the generic term.
Yes, CGM. So CGM could be a variety of different brands.
There are brands, but we don't necessarily talk about brands on purpose.
No, not on purpose unless I accidentally say it. But
And some people say it.
CGM is great. Dobie, we still need to get you one. Okay.
Okay. I want I wear like a retainer, just like a.
I love that you trust me. I say, Dobie, you need to wear one. Okay.
Well, no, I do. And again, I represent the listener at all. That's why I'm here. I am on the scale that, okay, there are millions of diabetics all over the world that are untreated, that just think if I put my head in the sand like an ostrich, it'll go away. So this show is important to me, but I also want to be an inspiration to people listening. It's like, I want to get in shape. I want to exercise. I want to reverse my type 2 if I have it. We talk a lot about type 1, and I'm totally cool with that, and I learn with it. But the fact is, 90% of diabetics are type 2. So I am your guinea pig walking the earth.
Yeah, that's why all the type 2s need to be having CGMs.
And they need to be listening to JMT, ASAP.
Yes. If they're not, then you need to get your head out of the
EIEIO, ASS.
Next one, brittle diabetes.
Brittle diabetes.
So somebody reached out to me. So it's actually somebody who's going to be coming on as a guest. And she was like, I have pretty brittle diabetes, though. I don't know if that has anything that affects me coming on as a guest. And I was like, absolutely not. But I really, to be honest, did not know what she meant by brittle diabetes. So I went and looked, and brittle diabetes means when you go from high to low really quickly. So it's almost like a diabetes roller coaster, but like you can drop really quickly. So there's a lot of fluctuation in your blood sugar.
Fluctuation is a very good word. I like it. But the brittle diabetes, I'd never heard that before. So let's bring that into the lexicon, the jargon. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Good one.
Okay. Ready? I don't think you know what this one is.
Probably not.
The D card? So crazy. The Dobie card?
The D card. This is one. Sammy Parker should put a stamp on this one. You came up with this one. I absolutely love. I do know what the D card is. For those that don't, we have, and if you're new, listen to our episode about it, but you want to say it in a nutshell because you can say it better than me.
Yes. So the diabetes card, the D card, is basically when you are using diabetes to your advantage. And since we're on it right now, I think this is a time to do this. So I posted a picture on Instagram and I asked everybody to comment when they used the D card.
Mm-hmm.
And I got outstanding responses in terms of what people said. And I think we need to share them right now. I feel like it's only appropriate, right?
I think it's right. Before we do that, our crack queen of the producing world, Elizabeth, made actual physical D cards, which can be presented to our listeners. If you request one, Sammy or I will send you one free of charge.
Yes.
Proceed. Just want to let you know that we appreciate that. It's a physical thing. We manifested it from the universe.
Exactly. So here's the responses I got. One response, used it on my flight this past weekend. I don't know what they use it for, but they did. Second response, every theme park, any advantage my daughter can have, I will get her. Another one, a Disney pass holder my whole life, and I had no idea that diabetics can use the disability assist service at the parks. It's a good one to know. Okay, another one.
I think Mickey's pre-diabetic.
Yeah, Mickey is. Another one, used it this year when I wanted to eat. And then they said, don't judge me. Another one said, airports and concerts especially, mostly airports. Another one said, I used to use this in school if I was late to class or if we went to the shops at lunch. Sorry, I'm late, sir. I had a hypo. And yes, I needed my friends to stay with me. That's classic. Another one, I feel guilty for many things, but never for playing this card dealt to me almost 50 years ago. Never. You always got to use it.
The Diabetes app is an online community platform that was created to help people living with diabetes find support and information in one spot.
And on the Diabetes app, you can join groups and connect with other people all over the world who are also living with diabetes. I mean, for me, whenever I have a bad day, I find myself scrolling through the mental wellness group, just to reassure myself that I'm not alone.
The Diabetes app has a resource section where you can find articles, recipes, tips, and tricks for managing your diabetes. Download the Diabetes app today and connect with us right on the app.
DiaStrong is an online telehealth platform that connects you to medical and holistic professionals to help you manage your diabetes. Find registered dietitians, nutritionists, certified diabetes educators, and more without the hassle of having to go into a doctor's office.
Wait. You mean a lazy bum like me can have appointments right from my computer? Sign me up.
That's right, Dobie. And this week, our listeners can use promo code JMT25 for 25% off their first visit.
Yeah, don't try to cheat and go to JMT26 because you're not going to get 26. It's 25. Go to www.diastronghealth.com. That's www.diastronghealth.com.
Another one was this was a parent D card. That's a good one. Taking a day off to join her class for a swimming lesson in the pool. So she used it. That's a good one.
Nice. That's a multifamily discount. That's like a Groupon D card.
I know. Another one was that the frequency of sleep interruptions that she gets from treating lows. So they use that for school. I don't know about you, but I think those are really good ones.
I do like anytime they can play it because, there are so many, I don't want to call them disadvantages, but how about challenges, hurdles, obstacles of having diabetes type 1 or type 2, that if you can pull something, life is never going to be fair. If you can pull something to your advantage anytime you can, I say, why not do it?
Exactly.
And capitalize on the ignorance of the public who don't know about it. Hopefully, as our podcast gets out and people are educated, we might not be able to play it in as many places, but for now, lay away, kid.
Yes. Okay. Going back into another jargon word, baby.
Yep.
So
what is it?
We got the food police here. What do you think that means?
The food police, other people who don't have diabetes, who look at what you eat and approve or disapprove with no medical training whatsoever.
It's freaking annoying.
It is annoying beyond, but you can't have that. That's an orange. What are you eating that for?
I'm like, and you can't have that cookie because you need your jeans to fit tomorrow. No, I'm kidding.
Because your buttocks take up 2 zip codes, but I am not a non-diabadass. I am minding my own business. Yeah.
Okay.
How about diabusiness, as in mind your own?
Diabusiness. I like that.
That's a good one. Well, I'm working with you, Sammy.
That's a good one.
I'm working on it. Elizabeth, Zach, write it down.
All right. Next one. A naked shower.
You know what? We're a family show here, Sammy. I don't want to get into what I picture a naked shower to be,
So a naked
but I'll let
shower
you explain it for
is when you're not wearing, if you have type 1, you're not wearing a pump or a CGM, which also could be type 2. Or if you have type 2, a naked shower is basically like you go in, you're kind of just taking care of your entire body. So for type 2, feet care is very important. So, Dobie, you better be scrubbing those toes better than before.
I'm scrubbing everything on me till it's a shiny glisten. I grew up, my grandma was very German, and German people, I don't want to be stereotypical, very clean. I mean, it's so funny that my grandma would wash the phone and she washed everything, the doorknobs, and just very clean. For a country with the word germ in the title, it's funny to me, Germany, they just happen to be clean people. Not that other nationalities aren't, but Germans especially. So yes, I'm very aware of scrubbing everything in the shower.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm clean, baby.
All right. Zach said, I take a clothes shower so I can save time doing laundry. It's pretty funny.
That is good. You could iron it, and just
That's good.
while you're wearing it. I like that.
Okay, next one. Some sweeties for diabetes. What do you think that is?
That is a dating service that diabetics can get together. Hi, sweetie, from Diabetes. I'm a type 4. What is that? Well, let's get together and I'll tell
I'm
you.
type 9.
You know there's going to be more than one. If there's money in it, there's type 1 and type 2, there's pre-diabetic. Gestational, that's kind of, go listen to our episode on that.
Somebody is going to come up with something and be like, there's type 5. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, so our next one, I think we've talked about it, is diablemia.
Yes.
So diablemia is basically when you are not taking your insulin in order to try to lose weight. Very dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous. But again, we're all vain people and we want to look good. And I think sometimes at the cost of our own health is not wise. But just because something isn't wise doesn't mean people don't do it. I've been guilty of it myself. Many things, you say, well,
that's true.
Do a shortcut. I'll go without sleep because I have to get things done and I want to burn the candle at both ends. Well, that does affect your diabetes too, not to mention your regular life. I mean, as a comedian, I don't have to go off on a tangent here, but I have to be in different towns. So I'll have to drive 8, 10, 12 hours. So I'll do a show. I can't sleep after the show. So I'll get in the car and drive. And when I was in my 20s, I could do that really easily. Then as I got diabetes and got older, I found myself, my head's bobbing on some 2-lane road in the middle of a big state. And I'm thinking I could just drive off and kill myself. So the diabelemia in that situation is, look, your health should be first.
Health is always first. Hence why we're doing this. All right. Next one.
Mm-hmm.
Type 0. It kind of goes along with the food police.
Type 0. I'm not good. I want to hazard a guess. Go ahead.
So type 0 means somebody who knows absolutely nothing about diabetes and tries to tell you like how to manage it. They know nothing though. They have no knowledge. And they're like, oh, you can't do that. And you're just like, hey, guess what? You know nothing. Bye.
A percentage of the population. I don't know what it is, but it's getting higher by the week. That is like that with every single subject.
Yes.
Giving you financial stock advice. You live in a trailer. You know what I'm saying? You had to sell a kidney to pay for your lunch, and you're telling me what stocks to advise. It's even worse with health issues.
Yeah, it is.
You shouldn't smoke. You're chewing tobacco. You're telling me not to smoke. So you don't have diabetes, but you're telling me what to do.
It's annoying.
Shut your mouth.
I'm like, I'm not a doctor, which means why would I try to tell you something you deal with?
Because they want to feel important, Sammy. And everybody wants to get their little pat on the head.
I know, but I'm like, it's just so frustrating. I'm like, we don't need to be trying to tell everybody what to do if you haven't dealt with it, Well,
I do know that, but see, I'm a little bit older than you, and I've spent my life not being, how can I say, diplomatic. You are an idiot. There are 8 billion people on this planet. I don't have to talk to you. I have plenty of other chances to meet people that are intelligent. So no offense.
It's true.
Have a nice day away from me.
It's so true, though. And I'm like, I don't know. Diabetes, though, I love that, like, we have our own community because I think it's so fun. And, like, even this, like, these episodes are so fun to me because you can just keep going. Like, literally, you could keep going.
Well, even one, I think it's not necessarily jargon, but it is A1C. It's so funny because...
That is true. Do you want to explain that one, Dobie?
Yeah, your A1C is the culmination of the last 90 days of your blood glucose monitor.
Nice.
And what that is something that people with diabetes know what it is. And I had somebody just the other day, doing a show about diabetes. Oh, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And it was within a group of people. There was about 5 or 6 people around. And I said, oh, what was your A1C? And everybody just stopped. Like, what are you talking about? And the person's eyes lit up. Oh, it was good. It's it's about 8, but it's getting down from what it was. And that is totally an inside. You could say that in front of anybody. And it's, what is that? So that's I think that would qualify as jargon. It's medical term, but it's still jargon.
It totally is. It's like there's another one that's called TIR, and it's time in range. It kind of goes with A1C. And time in range just means you really ideally want to be with your blood sugars within like 75 to 100 in range. Like 70 to 100, I would say, is more realistic. But it's the same thing. TIR, it's just like A1C.
Well, also like a TMI, too much information. A lot of that too.
Too much information here, which is probably sometimes what we do. But I mean, it kind of works because we kind of have to.
But I think some other people, they'll tell you about their disease, and I don't need to hear too many details. There comes a point where I get the idea. Thank you.
Yeah, not like your diagnosis story, right?
And I feel bad about that because people I use words that are clinical. I can't think of another way to do it. And again, go listen to our first episode if you're a new listener. And Sami and I share our diagnosis stories. But it's not dirty. It's just fact. That's how it happened. And you tell it how it is.
Yep. There's just multiple words that can be used, like hangry. When I have a low blood sugar, I'm hangry. I'm hungry and I'm angry.
Yeah. And I think what's gonna fix it. And people are, no, just breathe and just, no, I know I need food right now.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't wait.
Talking to you is not.
I'm like, you're dreaming if you think I can wait right now.
Yeah. No, that's a good one
it's
too.
True, though. It's very true. It's a good one. There's so many different slang terms. And honestly, like diabetes bag, that's a simple one. Or a shooter, like, oh, I need a shooter.
Now, I got to be honest with you. When I first got diagnosed, there was a friend of mine that had type 1, and he started calling me D-bag. And I was very offended and very insulted. And he said, no, it's not an insult term at all. It's a real term. It's like, ooh, that was a jargon that I did not know. I thought he was insulting me.
Honestly, I could see that. Because when somebody first said it to me, I was like, what? I was like, D-bag? That sounds not very nice.
That could be something, how can I say, unflattering.
Unflattering is an accurate and good way to put it. I agree with you.
But it's totally not. And I thought I'd let him do it. He did it 50 times. And I finally said, really, I would appreciate if you didn't call me that. I know. And it's a guy thing,
A D kit, like if you have a D kit, like a diabetes kit, is that better?
That's different. But a bag kit and bag are two different things. So anyway, yes, that's something. So if somebody calls you a D bag, question their motivation. Consider the source. And decide. Guys rip each other. That's just what we do. I don't know if women do that. I'm not trying to be sexist, but I'm saying guys will rip each other. And the more you like and know somebody, the more you rip them. You're wearing that.
I know. I'm trying to think. Like, I think girls, it's more like joking, like sarcasm.
Yeah, with guys, it's called busting stones. I'll put it that way.
Busting stones.
That's not the exact term, but it's close enough.
That's okay. That makes sense.
I don't know. Maybe it's testosterone. It's a weird thing. I don't know.
It definitely is testosterone.
So are we out of terms? Do we have any more?
We are, but I thought of one just now, and I think it'd be double D could also stand for a dope diabetic.
Dope. As the kids say today, dope is good.
Yes, like dope. Like they're a dope person. I mean, I don't really say that word. I don't say that word ever. I'm not like, oh yeah, he's dope.
When I was that age, dope meant an idiot. So it's amazing how that.
Yeah, I know. It's changed a lot, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. The jargon changes in life and in society faster than we can keep up. So we want to know what it is for diabetes. Hopefully it's a little bit slower. So again, a clock, it goes fast. We have so much fun with these, at least we do. And thank you for participating. We do appreciate that. All of those who commented on Sami's D-card preference.
I know. Well, now I have a question of the pod.
What question? What is it?
What is your favorite diabetes jargon word?
I know mine. Salty sugars, baby. I'm giving you credit for that.
Mine too.
That sounds like a character. It should be a cartoon, something. The Salty Sugars Show with Sami Parker.
I have salty sugars.
Yeah, I like that one. That's my favorite. But it doesn't have to be yours. What's your favorite? We would like to know and tell us. And maybe you have a new one that we haven't thought of.
Yeah, please. You can subscribe, follow us at Just My Type Pod _ on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And on Facebook, Just My Type Pod, and our hashtag Just My Type Pod. But please give us a 5-star rating and review so we can get the community together, conversation flowing, and discussion rolling.
Special shout out today, listening my good friend Ed Johnson from Wisconsin. He lived in Washington, D.C. for a while. He's a court reporter, and now he's back in Wisconsin at his retirement. But he said, I discovered your podcast. I love it. And he's a great guy. So Ed Johnson from Wisconsin, thank you for listening. And thank everybody for listening.
Yes, Ed. Love.
Ed backwards, that's duh, just so you know. So we're going to put the sugar-free cherry on the healthy Sunday, Sami. One more time, we'll be back again. Thanks for listening.
All right. Say la vie, baby.
This is the Just My Type podcast.